it's me, Debbie. With the baby on the way, I've had to seriously cut back on my mojitos, and I'd be missing out on my weekly girls' night happy hour. The struggle is real, people. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to get up in your health business and tell you all my greatest tips for avoiding that nasty hangover. Let's talk booze, people. Always a pleasure, Deb. While I do miss my little drinky drink at the end of the week, what I don't miss for sure is the hangovers. Now, to get a little sciencey on you, when alcohol is broken down, it does so by two different enzymes, and that produces acetate and acetaldehyde. So one of the byproducts, acetaldehyde, is a toxic substance that when it builds up in our body, it produces some of those unpleasant symptoms. Unfortunately, the research suggests there's not a whole lot we can do about this, except for maybe just drink less. But I'm definitely interested to hear some of your tips, Deb. So let's hear them. Now that boring sciencey stuff is out of the way, let's talk about some of my best hangover cures. So after a wild Debbie kind of night, I will not go anywhere until I have an extra large coffee with triple Splenda in my hand. It's basically my BFF. Yes, it's true, pretty much everyone's go-to beverage to cure a hangover is usually coffee. I think we gravitate towards coffee because it helps to target the fatigue that we feel after a really long night out. However, if you overdo it on the caffeine, you might end up irritating your gut a little bit, and let's be real, it's probably not feeling so great as is. So instead of the coffee, go for the H2O instead. Well, I was gonna say water. I fill up a massive jug with filtered water, and I keep that by my bed all day. Gotta get that H2O fix. Definitely, Deb. Water is always the best choice when it comes to replenishing those fluids and correcting dehydration. Because when you're dehydrated, that's when you get the worst hangover symptoms. So I always recommend that people drink plenty of water before, during, and after a boozy night out. Also, staying hydrated is a really good way to help your kidneys out so they can flush out some of those nasty toxins like that acetaldehyde, and that's really going to help to keep you symptom-free. Well, on top of that, I hear it's all about the electrolytes, so I always stock up on a huge amount of Gatorade the night before. Hey, future Deb to the rescue! In addition to losing fluids, our bodies also experience a loss of electrolytes. So a lot of people will use sports drinks or even pickle juice as a way to replenish the electrolytes like sodium, magnesium, potassium, and calcium. Now, we see this all the time with, let's say, athletes who use sports drinks to replenish the electrolytes that they lose through their sweat. However, whether or not this works as a hangover cure is still unclear. I definitely don't support the use of pickle juice because, let's be real, all that vinegar and the acid can definitely irritate an already probably achy gut. So if you don't have sports drinks on hand, try to look for foods that are rich in potassium and magnesium. So things like bananas, dates, figs, raisins, nuts, cereal, and dairy products. Well, when I can finally gain the strength to leave my bed, I make the trek to the greasiest diner I can find. It is not a pretty walk for me and my girls. However, my body is needing some pancakes. And I know what you're thinking, Debbie and carbs? However, this is the one exception I make when I ride the carb train. Ah yes, a greasy breakfast is probably one of the most common hangover cures. The idea here is that when we drink a lot of alcohol, our blood sugar levels tank. So by having a high carb meal, our blood sugars can normalize and we can feel a lot better. However, the research in this area is pretty fuzzy, and it's unsure whether or not a hearty breakfast can cure a hangover once and for all. However, it does make sense to have a good satiating meal before you go out drinking so that it can slow down the alcohol absorption. Be sure to include a little bit of fat in that meal because fat is slower to digest, so by the time that you start drinking, the fat in your gut will help to slow down the alcohol absorption. Well, at my favorite greasy spoon, I also always need some eggs. I don't know, I read somewhere that eggs contain some substance that helps to eliminate some kind of toxin. I don't know, that's as sciencey as I'm gonna get. You're definitely on the right track, Deb. So eggs are a great source of cysteine, which is an amino acid that actually helps to bind the acetaldehyde to help eliminate the toxin. So it may help to reduce your symptoms. I also heard something about oatmeal, that it can help with like our blood sugar or something. You're totally right. A hot bowl of oatmeal is great to provide you with the vitamins and minerals that you need after a big night out. It's also great because it provides us with that satiety factor, and it helps to slow down and normalize our blood sugar levels so that we feel less dizzy and nauseous. The key here is to make sure that you're dressing your oatmeal bowl up with lots of nourishing nuts and fruits so that we're getting in lots of vitamins and minerals. Well, my last tip, Abby, is probably one you are not gonna like, but my greatest hangover cure of all time is a bottomless Bloody Mary. Oh yes, when I'm out brunching with my hashtag squad, a few rounds of Bloody Marys are totally in order. I mean, hey, if you're not Bloody Marying it, you're not doing life, right? Oh yeah, this is the oldest trick in the books. Beat booze with more booze. And if it sounds ridiculous, folks, it's because it really is. So a lot of people believe that the vitamins and electrolytes in tomato juice will help to cure your hangover. However, the extra dose of liquor definitely will not help. First of all, more alcohol is just going to dehydrate you further, which is going to make your symptoms worse, of course. Second, alcohol is going to irritate your stomach and intestines, which are probably already feeling pretty rough. And third, acidic foods like tomatoes and spicy foods like Tabasco will further irritate your stomach. So none of these things are going to be doing you any favors. Guys, I know you're not going to like this, but there are no real hangover cures. However, there are some things that we can do to help, like maybe avoiding an excessive amount of alcohol next time, just a thought. And of course, there are some foods that may help out. The reality is the real cure for a hangover is time and sleep, and maybe just not drinking that much next time. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it the thumbs up. Leave me a comment below with some of your go-to hangover cures. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye.